This is your boy King Swinger, and welcome back once again to another video on my YouTube channel. I'm here once again with weekly market update. If you're new here, at the beginning of every week I post weekly market breakdown, sharing with you some of the setups I intend looking at for the week, and I update you guys with weekly market updates, showing you how these setups played out. Was it a win? Was it a loss? The lessons that I learned from it and how I intend moving forward. So if you're interested in learning more about how I analyze the market, the thought process that go through my analysis, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification so whenever I post educative content like this, you will be notified as fast as possible. Let's go. Welcome back once again. So last week we broke down USD CAD, the US dollar, Canadian dollar, and I explained to you guys all the reasons why we're expecting a bullish momentum on USD CAD. And as you guys can see right on my screen, the setup that I shared with you guys just played out nicely and nice. 1 to 4 risk to reward trader we just executed on USD CAD, and I shared all these the technical aspects and the code data reports, what we saw or technically, and what we saw and how the big banks were to position themselves on the USD and the CAD. We realized that everything was in right alignment for us to expect a bullish momentum on USD CAD. And if you haven't watched the previous video where I explained vividly why you're expecting a bullish momentum on USD CAD, I'll leave the link right at the top there and also in the description below so you can check it out for further reference. But let's just do a quick breakdown, and you see how you were able to execute this trade once again. How you watch the other one too for further breakdown. Okay, this one I'm just running through it. And last week, which is okay, we have already ended the week. I'm recording this video on Saturday, so I think previous week I took USD CAD and USD SGD, okay, the Australian dollar and the Singapore dollar. The SGD means Singapore dollar. Okay, so I took another trade on it, which also went pretty well. So the whole of the week I took only 2 trades on USD SGD and the USD CAD. Okay, sorry, AUD SGD and USD CAD. Okay, these 2 trades played out nicely like I anticipated. And one thing that I've learned for the past couple of weeks, beginning to see consistency in my strategy, or beginning to get confidence in my strategy, is if you really take your time to understand your strategy, or if you really know what you're doing in the market, things become much easier. If you know the things that you're looking out for, like, okay, I'm not trading until I see this. You have trained yourself to see that pattern, that you can trade it flawlessly. Guys, trust me, that's the stage I'm in, or that's the level that I'm in right now, where I'm easily able to spot the kind of setup that I've realized is becoming profitable for me. And when I see it, I execute. If I don't see it, I try to stay off the market. I'm not saying I'm all perfect in the market. I also make mistakes here and there, but I don't let those things draw me down. I also come back, check where I did wrong, and continue from there. We are all not perfect human beings. So like I was saying earlier on, I took AUD SGD and USD CAD. Okay, as you can see on the screen, a nice 1 to 3 risk reward trader I took. Very nice. I also explain from the top down. For this one, I think I'll go much deeper because I didn't share it in the previous video that I posted. So I'll go much deeper so you guys can see how I was able to execute this trade and what I saw from the monthly time frame, the weekly time frame, the daily time frame, and what actually made me take this trade. Okay, so let's just start. Let's do a quick rundown on USD CAD. Like I said, I'm not going to go deep into USD CAD. If you really want to understand what we said about USD CAD, check out the other video for further reference, and you will understand why we're expecting a bullish momentum. So from the monthly time frame, a quick one on the monthly time frame. What did we see on the monthly time frame? On the monthly time frame, we saw price making a series of a series of lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. So it started from here, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we're expecting price to form another lower high again. And we know generally whenever a market forms an impulse, correction impulse, you are definitely expecting the market to form another correction or another retracement to retest the key level that go blocking impulsively to the downside. Okay, so generally we are expecting a bullish momentum from the monthly time frame on USD CAD, because you can see price just formed a lower low that we're expecting price to form a low high to at least test this key level right here. Okay, which you can see price just look down to the downside. We're expecting price to at least retest to that key level. So on the monthly time frame, we said everything was bullish for us. We're expecting a bullish momentum on the monthly time frame on the USD CAD. Now when it comes down to the weekly time frame, we also said that we can see a very nice impulse correction. Okay, you can see price after that time of I was explaining price was just about here. Okay, price was just about here. Now I said since price has broken down this key level possibly, then price must be traced all the way back to test that key level before you can see any continuation to the downside. Okay, so on the weekly time frame I also said that we saw a nice impulse correction that we expected price to make another correction all the way to test the previous support right here, now turning resistance right here. And as you can see, price just exploded to the upside to test that key level that I said price might go all the way to test it. You can see price has impulse all the way to come back to that key level, and from here you can expect a reversal from here all the way to the downside. Okay, but that is just for another analysis. Now we are explaining how we're able to anticipate the buy setup on USD CAD. So on the weekly time frame too, everything was bullish. Prices broke below a strong level of support that we're expecting price to go and test that key level. So we have a monthly bullish, we have a weekly bullish. Let's see what we have on a daily time frame. Let's see what we have on a daily time frame. On our daily time frame, we said price formed a very nice pattern that if you have experience in the market, you should know this pattern by now. When you see price making, okay, let's assume price is in a clear trend. Okay, from a series of lower lows and lower high, lower lows and lower high, and you see that price gets to a certain point and price begins to, not form any highs or any lows. It's just moving correctively in a ranging form, not really showing clear direction. It means that the sellers, which were able to push the market all the way to the downside, are beginning to take profit. They are beginning to leave their trend. Okay, so in this case, you can see that there's a high possibility that the trend might change from here and start forming a series of higher highs and higher lows all the way to the upside. Okay, so that is also clear in an uptrending market. When you see market trend to the upside, you see markets now consolidating. There's a higher possibility for price to do what? To change. That is for a very long time. And as you can see clearly on the daily time frame on USD CAD, price has been trending to the downside for a very long time. So when I saw price doing what? Price forming this kind of corrective pattern on the daily time frame, I realized that there's a very nice opportunity for price to reverse, that I'll be looking close on daily time frame to get a right setup for me to enter a nice buy trade. And I explain all these factors to you in the other video. So I hope you understand the little scenario that I did here. So on the daily time frame, we also saw price forming a very nice W formation. And whenever I said W formation, we expecting price to go all the way to the downside, test our neckline, and from here expecting price to make an impulse all the way to the upside. I hope you understand what the explanation I'm making here. And if you can't see it, I shoot my light out. You see nice W formation, price to test the neckline, price impulse to the upside. This is a no-brainer setup. Okay, I shared all the facts with you in the other video. So when it comes down to our 4-hour time frame, let's see what we have on a 4-hour time frame. So as you guys can see, we have our 3 major time frames, which is the monthly, weekly, daily, being very, very bullish, and also our 4-hour time frame also looked very, very bullish. Okay, so when I came on my 4-hour time frame, what did I see on my 4-hour time frame? Now my 4-hour time frame, you can see prices formed a nice. You can see prices formed a nice impulse correction impulse. Okay, price forming a nice correction impulse correction. Okay, so you can see that this kind of patterns, if you're old in the industry, you should know this kind of corrective patterns, and price form an impulse, correct, and it will impulse again. You all know this pattern. So this is a pattern that I was seeing on the 4-hour time frame. As you can clearly see, price being corrected to down here. So we also knew that, and we can also see this also at key level that the market just broke all the way to the upside. And when I saw price moving down, retesting that zone correctively, I realized that this was a very nice time for me to do what? To make a right entry on USD CAD. So what I did next was I placed my buy limit just about here. One point I saw prices moving down correctively, price came to trigger me and price impulse all the way to the upside, and you can see the result of this trade, a nice 202 pips trade that I got on USD CAD. Okay, and you can see this impulse here was a news effect, but what I used to say is news doesn't create direction, it's only creating volatility. So my focus, I don't really focus much on news, so myself people don't really understand. And then what I mean is, when I'm good with my technicals and I get a very good bias and I take it, news won't create a direction. It will only create volatility. So if I'm in the right direction, then the news is just going to be a very good friend of mine, just create volatility for price to hit my take profit. And when I'm in the wrong direction, news is just going to create volatility for my stop loss to be hit. Okay, so that's one concept that I live by. I mean, people always writing about fundamentals and the technical aspect of trading. I mean, it's all works, but it depends on how you use it. So this was just a no-brainer trade I shared with you guys last week. And like I said, if you haven't watched that video, check it out for further understanding how I broke this setup down from the quote that I put too. So this setup was a very good trade. You can see nice break and retest entry, price move to the upside. Let me just say the trade management to you guys before I move on to AUD. Okay, so after price breaking above this key level, okay, after price breaking above this key level, I remove my stop loss a zero pay into profit, okay, to cover the commission cost. You know, whenever you take a trade, your broker takes your commission, so I still pay into profit so I can cover the commission, a few like 2 pips or something. Then I allow the trade to run. Okay, so I wasn't even monitoring the trade. I just left the screen, came back some few hours later. I saw price has come back to test the zone and price has impulsed all the way to the upside. Okay, I think this trade took like 3 days, I think 2 days to complete because of the news that came in. It was able to move price very fast for price to hit my take profit. So I have my take profit just about here, just about this zone. Okay, I have my take profit just about this zone, but because of how price was moving impulsively, I didn't close the trade. I closed it just about here because when price moved above my take profit, I was like, I actually wanted to hold the trade for a very long time. Okay, I actually wanted to hold the trade for a very long time, but it's something that has happened to me before. I tried doing that and I ended up almost closing the trade with a very few profit. So I was like, you know what, I don't care if price is going to move above my take profit and move a more place above it. When I get to a place that I decided to take my take profit, when it's there I'm moving out of the market, I won't be greedy. I'll just take the profit that the market has given me just when I'm out and wait for another opportunity. So because of what the market has taught me before, when price got here, I was like, you know what, let me just take my profit this year out of the market. I don't want to, try and be like I'm holding the trade and it will just come in, because the same news that took price all the way to hit my take profit, and that same news can also reverse price all the way down to reverse all the profit that I've made. So I just took my profit and I was out of the trade. So generally USD card was a very good trade that played out right like I expected, just by following my trading plan, just by following my instructions, the rules that I've set for myself, just by following and just by practicing and gaining more experience. I'm beginning to get much clarity in the market, and I like how I'm seeing the market now. The future is really bright. Like, I've really put in a lot of effort to get to this point, and I'm really proud of myself. So let's just move on to AUD SGD. Okay, let's see what AUD SGD. Let me just break this further down for you guys to see how I was able to execute a very nice 1-3 reward trade on AUD SGD. Okay, so let me just go right up to our monthly time frame. Let's see what we have on a monthly time frame on AUD SGD. Okay, so on a monthly time frame, we all know generally the AUD has been strong than the SGD for a very long time. That is why we have seen this strong bullish momentum all the way to the upside. But we can clearly see on the monthly time frame that price just moved, just impulsed all the way to the upside, breaking above this key level here. Okay, so definitely whenever the market is in an uptrend and it's forming a series of higher highs and higher lows, and when the market breaks above a previous high, you're definitely expecting the market to do what? To move all the way to test that previous high, then before price will reverse all the way to upside to form another higher high. Okay, so I believe you all know this concept already. So since we are in a clear uptrend on the monthly time from AUD SGD, and price since the price has also broke above the key level of resistance, you are definitely expecting price to make a retracement or a reversal all the way to that key level before the continuation to the upside. Okay, I hope I'm making sense. And as you can see, immediately price broke above that key level, you can see this crazy rejection, this candlestick rejection right here, showing that clearly the buyers were leaving the market. Okay, the buyers were even the Manchester price can go back to test our key level that go broken to the upside. So let's just move to our weekly time frame, and so we have. So our monthly time frame is really bullish. Okay, monthly time frame is really bullish because we know prices broke above a key level of resistance. So definitely we're expecting price to make a retest to that key level once again. So on our weekly time frame, we can see price doing what? We can see price from a very nice information. Okay, and I've spoken about this information several times. Whenever you send information, sorry guys, let me take this one off here. Whenever you see price from an information, you are definitely expecting price to make a retest to a neckline before the continuation to a downside. Okay, so and this is exactly what the price did on the weekly time frame. You can see this nice nice information retest to a neckline, and price it was exploded all the way to the downside. Okay, this is a very pattern that plays out almost every single time. When you see the line chart, it becomes much clearer. Okay, nice information retest to a neckline, impulse all the way to the downside. Okay, this is a pattern that's really accurate in the market that I use a lot in my trading. If you have been following for some time now, you know I love using this pattern. So on a monthly time frame, price also looks very bearish. Okay, we had a bearish monthly because a certain price to make a retest to a previous resistance that got broken impulsively to the upside, and then on the weekly time frame too, we are also expecting a bearish momentum because you can see a nice information price retesting to a neckline. You are expecting price to make a continuation all the way to the downside. Okay, now let's go to the daily time frame and see what we had on our daily time frame. Okay, let's see what we got on daily time frame. Okay, so on daily time frame we had a nice counter trend. When I say counter trend, I think I said in the previous video that if you want me to do a specific video or a video specifically for counter trend strategy, leave it in the comment section below. And I saw a couple of people saying I should do a counter trend strategy, so don't worry, I have it in my mind. I'm definitely going to drop a video on counter trend strategy. You understand? It's pretty much simple. Okay, it's much simple. Just understanding how the concept works, and you're good to go. Okay, so you can see on the daily time frame we had a very nice counter trend. Okay, here price the testing to this trend line, price broke below the tested. I actually missed the first entry when price was retesting to this key level right there. I missed the first entry, but what the price do? Price impulse all the way to the downside, breaking below this key level on the daily time frame. You can see this key level. Okay, you can see this key level. You have key levels right there. So price broke above this key level, came back again, retest, went down, came up back again, price rejected it once again to the downside. Okay, so you can see that particular zone, price was rejected at that particular zone several times. So the time that I saw that it was actually the right time for me to get in a very nice sell trade was when price from this nice information. Okay, we are once again seeing that information on the daily time frame, because it's testing to the downside and all the way to the downside. Let me show you the information I'm talking about. So this is the information that I'm talking about. Okay, I see a nice information retest the neckline explosion to the downside. Okay, and when you want to see it clearer, you can go and switch to a line chart. You can see very nice information on the daily time frame retest impulse all the way to the downside. Okay, you can see this is a very beautiful pattern that keeps on repeating itself on the market. So when I saw this on the daily time frame, just hop down to my 4-hour time frame to take my trade right on the retest of the neckline of the information on the daily time frame. Okay, so you can see this is right on. There is a neckline. There is a neckline right here of our information on the daily time frame. Had my sell limit just about this zone. Price came to retest, got a little bit of drawdown. Let me see the amount of pips in drawdown that I had. Where is my pip calculator? So I had about 19 pip drawdown. Okay, I had about 19 pip drawdown for price showing for price reversing all the way down. Okay, into profit. But one thing that I learned over this trade was, you can see after price breaking above this key level of resistance support zone. Okay, you can see the support that price broke above, now turning resistance right here. I almost did what? I almost moved my stop loss to break even. I actually did. Okay, but when I saw that price actually refused to break below this key level right here, I was like, you know what? Since I'm rushing, move my stop loss to break even. I believe in my strategy. I know, and definitely, if I should lose, fine. But if I should win, fine. I'll show you to take the responsibility, whatever result that comes out. So I moved my stop loss back from break even to where I had my stop loss earlier on, and I allowed the trade to run. So because I knew definitely that price was going to reverse into profit because of how from a monthly time frame down to a daily time frame looks really bearish. Okay, you can see the number of information that you have seen that has formed on this particular pair. So I was pretty much confident in this setup that it was definitely going to play out. Okay, so I just moved my stop loss back to where it was, and price moved back to my moved a little bit into drawdown, a few pips into drawdown, then just impulse all the way to the downside. You can see price going all the way down to hit my take profit. Okay, so you can see the one lesson I've learned from this particular trade alone, that sometimes I shouldn't rush in moving my stop loss to break even. Okay, sometimes you have to take your time. You have to take information from what the market is. You have to communicate with the market and see what the market is currently doing. Then you also react to what the market is doing. You don't just take things into your own hands and just do anything that you want. Look at how the market is behaving, because the market is going to behave differently every single trade that you take. Because this trade played out, I'm definitely not going to behave the same way I behave with this setup with another setup. I will see every setup is unique in the market. Every setup, guys, take this thing right here. Every setup in the market is unique. So the fact that you had a winning trade on this setup, when you see this same setup repeating itself, don't think that what happened in that previous setup is going to happen with this same setup here. Okay, it doesn't work like that in the forex market. Every setup, okay, is different. Every setup that's in the market will behave differently. So you don't have to think on what you know. You have to think on what the market is doing so that you can actually come out with profitable trades. Okay, I hope I said something sensible that I can take from. So the whole of the week I took only 2 trades, that is USD CAD and AUD SGD. Okay, so you can see this beautiful trades. I got like 104 pips and 220 pips from this trade. Combine it and you see the number of pips that I made within the week. And that's the benefit of swing trading. Okay, swing trading requires you to be very patient. Sometimes you have to sit out for weeks. Currently, you see, for the past few weeks, I've been profitable. I've seen nice setups, but it seems this week I'm not seeing any setup that's actually matched with the kind of things that I look out for. Okay, so this week I might not even look at the charts, but if I see anything, I'm definitely going to update you guys. Today is Saturday that I'm recording this video, so definitely by Monday I'm going to give you guys the weekly market breakdown, showing you guys the setups I'm looking at. Okay, so after this video or tomorrow morning, that Sunday, I'll go to the market once again, see if I'm going to get any trading opportunity. Then I do what? Then I'll share with you guys, and also I'll looking at it critically and see how it is playing out for the week. But so far, I checked in the market, I'm not actually seeing anything that aligns with what I look out for. But you know what? I'll go through again and see if I'll do anything, then I'll share with you guys. But in my community, which is the Lifetime Asset Trade FX, if you're not part, I'll leave the link in the description below so you can also join. I told you I sent the setup on BTC USD, and I told you guys that I will be breaking down this setup while we're expecting a bullish momentum. So I mean, let me just do a quick breakdown on BTC USD so that I can end this video here. Okay, I hope you're enjoying the video. So let's just move straight to BTC USD, the Bitcoin. So let's start from our monthly time frame down to our lower time frame. Okay, you can see BTC is still running. BTC, it doesn't actually close, it runs almost every single time, so it's still running even though the major forex currency pairs are closed now. Now BTC is still running. Now BTC, what we can actually see on BTC is a very nice impulse correction. Whenever you see an impulse in the impulse correction in the market, a certain price to form an impulse, that is in a clear uptrend market forming a series of higher highs and higher lows, expecting the market to form another high after a higher low has been formed. So you can see market in a clear uptrend, the market just formed a new higher low. So from here, certain price to do what? To form another impulse, forming another higher high. So on the monthly time frame, you are definitely expecting bullish momentum on BTC USD. Okay, since price has formed a higher low, you definitely expect price to form another higher high to complete the pattern that we have on the monthly time frame. Now let's go down to our weekly time frame and see what we have. Let's go down to our weekly time frame. On our weekly time frame, we can clearly see price doing what? price is testing to a key level of support zone. You can see this zone right here. Price coming all the way back to test this key level, and from here you know that price can definitely make a reversal and push all the way to the upside. Okay, and one thing that you can also see on the weekly time frame is price forming a very nice information, and like I said, whenever I send information, a certain price to do what, let me draw it well. Information, whenever I send information, a certain price to do what, to form or to trace all the way to the next time before the continuation to the downside. Okay, and you can see this beautiful information from on the weekly time frame on BTC USD, and from here you can definitely expect price to do what, to test all the way to the neckline before the continuation to the downside. Okay, so we have a monthly bullish and we have a weekly bullish. Now let's go to the daily time frame and see what the daily time frame has. You can see that after price is testing to the weekly support zone that I was telling you guys, you can see series of rejection, and you can see price was actually we can see that we can also see another counter trend strategy right here. You can see price was rejecting of this trend line several times before we saw a major break to the upside. And when price broke to the upside, we clearly saw a very nice double formation, and we expecting price to retest the neckline, and from here and impulse all the way to the upside. Okay, this was the double formation that I'm talking about. This is a nice double formation. Okay, but I was expecting price to actually retest, but price did what? Price actually broke below that zone. Okay, I was expecting price to retest to this key level right here. I thought price will actually invest all the way to the upside, but price actually did what? Price actually broke below this key level, and price is still going down. But you can see we also have another key area right here. Price reacted to this key area, broke below, came back to test that key area, went back, and now price is coming back to the same region again to test. So from here you can definitely expect price to make an impulse from here all the way to the upside. Okay, but for now everything looks pretty much bearish on the daily time frame. The monthly look bullish, the weekly look bullish, but the daily look very, very bearish. Okay, everything looks bearish right now on the daily, but for you can't actually take any you can't actually have any confirmation or get any confidence that this trade is actually going to reverse all the way to the upside. Okay, the trade might actually continue going all the way down. Okay, where is mine? The trade might continue going all the way down to this key level before it might finally reverse all the way to the upside. Okay, but still, like I said, we are always going to be reactive, not predictive. You won't try and predict the market. We are going to react to what the market is currently giving us. You can see the market also is testing to the trend line that actually go looking to the upside. So definitely, if the market should react to this trend line, and from here you definitely be looking in getting a trade which also aligns with the zone right here. We're definitely looking to getting a trade all the way to the upside. But like I said, we won't be predictive. We are going to react. We are going to react to what the market is giving us, so that we won't actually force anything or impose anything on the market. So I think I'm going to end it here. I hope you enjoyed the weekly market update. I'm definitely going to drop another weekly market breakdown to give you another trading opportunity, so that next week Friday too, I'll also give you another weekly market update showing you how this setup plays out. So if you are enjoying this series I'm currently doing, leave a comment below. Let me see if you're enjoying this series, and also like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification so whenever I post content like this, you'll be notified as fast as possible. See you in the next one.